Woo! Fam, football fun. You got to do it on Sunday because, we got to stay in shape for Sundays because, things could straighten up all of a sudden and back to normal, completely back to, I'm not saying back to normal. I mean, everything back to normal. Like, there's a few things that do need changing, and it seems like the positives are pointing in that direction. But I want to get into politics. I'd rather get into football right now because we can talk politics every day, all day. Taking a break from it is what we're doing right now, talking 49ers football. Fam, I thought it'd be fun today, just to add a little smile to the period. 49ers possible breakout sophomores in 2020. Because this is the class. This is the class. You look at 2017's class, like I mentioned earlier in the promo. 2017's class, we thought it was going to be off the hook. Picked up Solomon T. Although I had my objections, there were plenty of people that thought he was going to be a good football player. He looked like a good football player on paper and some other things. And then you pick up Reuben Foster. Oh, Lord have mercy. We've done it. And we've got the greatest tight end in football from that draft. And who knows what Trent Taylor may pull off if he can just stay on the field. Now, that's 4 guys. Now, we're still waiting for Spoon. And maybe he comes around this year, but you got to wait along with Solomon Thomas. Reuben's gone. He's out of the mix. But this year, fam, last year what we saw was extraordinary in so many ways. When you look at the fact, well, let me talk about it, because it's hard to imagine Nick Bosa following his own rookie season act and taking it to any next level, isn't it? Can you imagine that? Nick Bosa gets better? Really? I mean, that's going to be something that even Nick's going to have a problem with, being better than he is. You know what I mean by that? Can you imagine? You look in the mirror every day, Nick Bosa. And then you talk to yourself in the mirror, but I can beat you this year. Deebo Samuel turned into the complete stud. Minutes after Emmanuel Sanders straightened him out. I don't know what he did, but Deebo just started rolling. And most degree of Samuel is the main candidate even beyond top in the Niners roster. We're talking the entire NFL is talking about Deebo. The mystery unraveling of Jalen Hurd is being anticipated by millions across the Niner empire. Everybody's got Jalen Hurd is going to make a difference in this team. And he might. The second year, he's eligible to be one of the sophomore breakouts too. But we need to see more. He can't be on the bench all year this year. Dre Greenlaw. Boy, was that a pleasant surprise in 2019 or what? Justin Skule. Now, Skule had a lot of problems at one point, but he's still got potential. He can be worked with. And remember Tim Harris? Yeah, Tim Harris is going to spend a lot of time in the IR. But, he being an IR guy, I still think, I don't know. I got to see more of him because we didn't see enough. We just heard he's going to the IR as soon as he got to the team. He'd had that issue in school as well. So maybe, we'll see. Tim is a talent we've not seen a thing from yet. So, and how about Mitch Wishnowski? Maybe Shanahan expands his role and some of those fun things we saw him do in Utah, maybe does some of those things for the 49ers this year. Wouldn't that be special to see Mitch? Wishnowski got the snap. Whoa! Mitch Wishnowski takes off across the right side. He's got good speed. He only needs 3 yards. Mitch Wishnowski's got the first down. Look out. He's got George Kittle in front of him. Oh! Mitch is gone! Oh, my God. It would take me 6 weeks to get over that. It would. I would never get over that. I said, finally, Kyle, you finally pulled a play out of your pocket for Mitch. But, fam, Deebo seems to be the biggest child of great expectation. As I mentioned, the NFL community has been talking about Deebo ever since the combine. They were using Deebo as the biggest example of success all through the combine. Every team's looking for their Deebo Samuel, most likely in this year's combine. And that's a nice move. And a lot of what you've seen from Deebo, and they kept going on and on during the combine as they were comparing Deebo with some of the players you saw coming in to the league this year. Peter Schrager, GMFB, recently asked 2 NFL analysts, Sean O'Hara and Michael Robinson, which second-year player they believe is poised for the best sophomore season coming this year. And O'Hara picked Marquise Brown. of the Ravens, while Robinson chose the Niners' Deebo Samuel. Robinson questioned O'Hara's selection of Brown because of the Ravens' dedication to running the football. And with good reason. Baltimore ranked number 27 in passing with 3,225 yards. They don't throw the ball in Baltimore. They ranked number 1 rushing with 3,296 yards, 1,206 of which was contributed by Lamar Jackson. And the only reason Lamar stopped at that is because Coach Price said, Lamar, let somebody else run the ball every now and then, okay? I know you like to run, but let somebody else play. And you and I both know Michael Robinson doesn't even like the 49ers. The facts got in the way of any spewing biases, so Michael had to go ahead and tell the truth. Meanwhile, the Niners ranked number 13 in passing with 3,792 yards and number 2 rushing with 2,305 yards. Just a really nice offense this year, even though Jimmy G gets very little love. You might both know Jimmy G had a 4,000-yard season, had I don't know how many drops. He easily went over 4,000 yards, but he's still blamed for any mistakes he made. I don't. That's why I take up for him so much. Robinson said to explain the reasoning behind the choice was, quote, "It's got to be Deebo Samuel. He plays for a team that rushes the ball a lot too, so I have to say that there as well. But Deebo Samuel hurts you in so many different ways. He runs the ball. He had over 200 yards rushing, regular season and playoffs. And this guy catches the ball out of the backfield. And when he gets the ball, he is a hard tackle. So I've got to go with Deebo Samuel." Unquote. I love hearing good things about our guys after years and years of disrespect and talk about the 49ers ain't got no talent. Now the 49ers got all the talent. Isn't it amazing how things go? Halftime. Woo! And with the NFL Network, man, hey, you know what? If you ever see anybody on social media, anyplace else, his name is Deebo Samuel. Ain't no S on the man's name. Deebo Samuel. When we do it, you see another 49er fan, no matter what the conversation, dude, his name is Samuel. If you be a 49er fan, please learn the man's name. Deebo Samuel. And fam, here's the question tonight. Who you like? You can pick more than one. But if Vegas put up a betting line on which mama's baby will have the biggest breakout in this second season, whose child would you place your bet on? It's the easy bet is to say Nick and Deebo. See, that's too easy. But what if Jalen Hurd plays the entire season? Could he give Deebo and Nick a run for the money? And what if Dre Greenlaw? Boy, I tell you what, too, Nick is going to give Deebo a run for his money. Jalen may actually be a franchise player if he can stay on the field. Of the little we've seen, he looks that good. Now, Dre Greenlaw confused us last season while mentioning himself. And now he confused us last season. Dre even said this himself. He didn't even understand what Sal was talking about until the playoffs. Really? Imagine what he's going to be like when he actually knows what he's doing then. I got to tell you, if that's the case, Dre Greenlaw could be. I don't want to get into any arguments. I love Quan, but Dre Greenlaw may be on the same level with Fred Warner to a degree. That's. We cry about the corner situation, but I just mentioned Tim Harris is ready to go. If Tim Harris is ready to go, Harris could be one of those best-kept secrets on the team. Can you imagine? Tim Harris comes out there and balls out, and we're looking at Tim Harris like, Kyle, man, you can make everybody sit down except for Tim Harris, okay? Can you imagine? See, this is the thing about the 49ers scouting team. I don't know who they are, what they eat for breakfast, or what they put in their coffee, but these guys go out and they find them. Because it used to be that Trent Baalke, I don't know what was going on with him. Trent would drag things in. The cat wouldn't even left it. Cat would have left outside and come in and talk about, he's probably a good ball player, and he just needs more reps out there. We got a lot of talent on this ball club, and I can afford to put guys. I picked up a few guys that are probably questionable because they've got injuries. But when those guys heal up, they can contribute to this team in a big way. So I get questioned a lot about picking up guys that are hurt. But you wait and see what happens a little later, and you may change your tune about that. Shut up, Trent! Shut it! These guys can't play now. They're not going to play next year. And we're going to cut them the next season. And you're going to be giving them money settlements to get them out of here. So you see, this is why I give all the credit in the world to the guys that are out there doing the job right now for John and Todd. You know what's really funny about this thing? A lot of those scouts are the same guys that Trent had, though. So I need to shut up a little bit about that. They are. A lot of those guys were working for Trent Baalke, too. I don't know what Trent was doing. By the time Trent got a hold of these guys, it was his call to make on what players, right? So I got a feeling Trent just had bad judgment. I guess, because it wasn't the scouts like we thought, though. Some of them, they got rid of a few, but not all of them. Anyway, Talking Man 78, Corey McGlinty down in Carson County. Hey, Corey. Ricky B. Deebo Samuel 19 over COVID-19. I see what you did there. Cynthia! You didn't like the Solly T pick. I didn't, Cynthia. And I will not lie and say, I was really hostile about that pick. In fact, I lost some sleep on that. Kittle makes up for 2017 draft, A+ both first rounders bust for us. I know. Actually, that's kind of true. But you shouldn't have. You should still have at least one of your first rounders. If Ruben could have just had, if his mind, they should have immediately got a therapist for Ruben, and I think he would have been a great linebacker. But I'm happy, really happy with what we got. So good things. Everything happens for a reason. We got 3 tremendous linebackers right now. And I don't see a fall off from Reuben Foster's talent, actually. Warner DeLu. Warner, am I saying your name right? DeLu. Watch Sullivan Thomas have a breakout year, finally. Yeah, hopefully. It's not his sophomore year, though, so that's why I didn't mention his name. Ronald Blair, breakout every year, not a sophomore, so that's why I didn't talk about him. We can talk about those guys anytime, all the time. I want to know, in this dramatic draft, who's the guys? Who's going to not disappoint us? Who's going to take it to the next level and make sure that this team in the future is going to be rock solid? Cindy says, I'm still down riding with Deebo. Yo! We both said. M.A. Duran, Deebo and Bourne been working hard this offseason. Yep. Kendrick's not a sophomore, though. Talking Man 78, my wide receivers predictions, Deebo Samuel, Trent Taylor, Jalen Hurd, Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, and maybe Richie James. Well, how many guys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? You're not going to get away with 7. Maybe, I don't know, but this roster is so stacked in so many places. Oh, we can expand a couple of places. I mean, well, you know what? Yeah, but maybe. I forgot about the new CBA. And Mr. Blockeye says, hey, I think my sophomores overall will do their thing. They learned a lot from the Super Bowl. They are hungry. Offensively and defensively, we still get it done. It's about chemistry overall. And here's the thing that worries me. We're not getting enough chemistry building time right now. I don't know if they're going to let the 49ers loose next week or when. It should be any time now. Somebody said it would be the end of June. And I said, oh, no, that's a long time from now. These guys need to – well, anyway, the guys are getting together, so on their own. So they're liable to accomplish a lot, so maybe they're not going to come in looking too bad. It doesn't matter, though, because every team in the league is going through the same thing, so they'll all be equal. So we're liable to see some sloppy football to start the season, depending upon the conditioning of some of these guys. And a lot of these guys are pretty conscientious about this, and they're taking care of their own conditioning and doing what they have to do. I'm sure Kyle and Kasurk and all the guys, the coaching staff, is probably they're probably on these guys' phones all the time. Click. Yo, Coach, what's up? No, I'm not. What are you monitoring me? I'm not playing. No, I'm not playing computer games. Okay. Well, I was playing Madden. That counts? All right. I'm busy. I'm getting busy. So because they're kids, you got to make sure they stay on it. This is a real life kid. You got to get in condition because the guy next to you is going to get in condition. He's going to have the edge on you for that reason alone. Get busy. Because you haven't got him in camp, so you can't watch him, right? Oh, let's go to New York, James. Oh, not from New York. James, hello.
Yo, how we doing, Ronbo?
James, man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm just looking at this year's draft class, which is like crazy. I mean, last year's draft class, 2019, right? James, man.
Right.
Who knew? 4 guys just kicking butt. James, what are you thinking? Well, we got 3 for sure, with 1 potentially.
Man, thinking we're gonna have a lot of breakout players. It's hard not to. Just after this point in time, I think it doesn't even matter as much as like how we had all these first rounders. I mean, we didn't really have to draft in the first round, but we did because we know what we need. You see,
Yes.
so I think that they know what players are going to do the best in our environment as far as what they have surrounded with them, as far as like the weapons with the running backs, Jimmy G, and the receivers that are already there, like Deebo Samuel. So Brandon Ayuk's already in a perfect position to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And Kinlaw, I think there's almost no excuse for Kinlaw not to have a great season, honestly, because we have so many players that are going to be almost 10 and 10. If all our D linemen stay healthy in a good situation, right, in the best case scenario, all of our D linemen could possibly have at least 10 plus sacks. Like Kinlaw can get up there. I feel like. I mean, D Ford and Bosa already are going to get up there if they stay healthy throughout the whole season. And then you got Armstead who's going to get his 10. And you got Ronald Blair. I think Ronald Blair is so underrated. I think he's going to have a blowout season real soon.
As long as he's healthy. Is that because that knee? We got to see what that's like.
That's true. But we're setting up these guys in perfect position. So I think that we're going to succeed, and it's going to be hard. I think we're going to break the curse. We're going to break the curse, and we're going to get our
James,
Super Bowl.
let me ask you this, because you see, last year Dante was supposed to be the dude. This past year, second year, he looked good in his first year. Do you think pressure? I don't know Dante in this way, but I wonder, did the pressure get to Dante? Was he thinking to himself, I got to bring it this year because everybody's expecting it? And if that's the case, and it cracked him, I wonder if Deebo's of the character that he knows that a lot is expected of him, and could it have effect on his game?
Well, you know what I was thinking about was I don't think that's going to happen to Deebo. Deebo's got a different mentality than Dante.
True.
But you notice how when we got Emmanuel Sanders, all our receivers began to step it up and mature.
Up, yes.
And you could just see the mindset change. So I think that we never seen Dante after Emmanuel Sanders really came around. So it's very possible that Dante he might be getting his head right. I think that he's working hard this offseason if we don't know it. But I really have I'm not ready to give up on him yet because he's a good talent, and I think that this year he realized the first year he did all right, but he struggled with injuries, and the next year he was just outdoing himself and getting kind of he just kind of was overthinking, like how Akello gets kind of
True. There is a parallel between Akello and Dante, isn't there? Because they both got talent,
right?
But something mentally breaks.
Yeah, they're both like at their best. Like when they're on their game, they're like one of the best players in the game at their position. It seems like. And then
good point.
When it's not their A game, it's either boom or bust sometimes with them. So I think that they're maturing. I think they're going to get their mindset. Their mindset's just going to be right and set on what it's supposed to be on. I think that Dante's going to make the roster, and I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Could be.
And Dante, I'm hoping. We got so much talent at receiver right now. It's insane.
Too much.
I don't even know. I think KB can possibly be like. I mean, I know you, Ronbo, you've been watching KB, all his stories and stuff. I'm sure, like he's been working hard this offseason. I think. Like, I don't know, man. I think KB, he might, but if he's possibly going to be, he could possibly start,
Easily.
I don't think people are expecting that, but I think that he's working his way into becoming a solid, starter or something. Because
James,
he comes through so clutch for us.
I got him starting, James. I got KB.
Thank you.
I got KB on one side and the other player, Deebo on the other, for sure. Trent Taylor, I'm penciling him into the slot for now. But, you got – and I think Dante – here's the thing, no, James, because Dante knows when they brought in Emmanuel Sanders, he already knew he was going to have to take a sidestep. But then when Deebo started getting his snaps, I think it broke his heart. Right. You have to have – your mind has to be like a rock. You cannot be antagonized or intimidated in the NFL, or you'll get blown away because nobody will feel sorry for you. You got to go get it. And that's where Dante, I think that's where he lacks. That's the only thing I think he lacks. He's got the skill.
Right. He has. It's very obvious he don't have like that dog in him. You know what I mean?
See.
Like some
Ain't no
players
Bow
got
Wow.
that dog. It's very obvious. Deebo got it. You know. Very obvious. Very obvious. Sherman got it.
Yeah.
You know,
you can tell the
even
dogs.
though
Oh,
he's
you
an
hear
older
him
guy,
barking.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh yeah. So it's just something that maybe not all players have it, which is okay. You'd rather have that, but he's just one of those players. Dante's just one of. It's the reality of it is he's just one of those players that will make business decisions. I feel like what I mean.
And I agree.
And
I tell you something,
by
James,
like taking
because
big hits over the middle and stuff like that.
because Ayuk
Deebo wouldn't care.
is it, and Ayuk's not going to get beat out by Dante either. See, this is the problem with Dante.
Right.
And I got to tell you something else too. I got a feeling Jawan Jennings is not going to let Dante beat him out either. Dante probably has more skill than both of them. But he won't do it.
Right.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
You're right.
Final judgment. I hear you.
I think that what Shanahan's going to have built this year, though, like Jimmy G's going to have a big year. I think Jimmy G's tired of the talk. I know he's
he is, but
he's getting his mind right, and I know he's grinding on his off season. He has so much time,
JV,
I think that
we got to pull
they're
up.
going to have so many different.
We got to pull up, but you know what? You're absolutely right. That's a conversation we'll have next time. All right.
Right.
Hey,
real quick, I just want to throw one more thing in. Real quick, I just want to say, I think Shanahan's going to have so many packages with different receivers that it's going to be hard for us to be stopped on offense this year. But other than that, we're good to go, my brother. You have a good one, all right?
You too, fam. Have a good night.
All
it's
right.
James. Oh, man. Hey, Jay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, I'm looking at my glorious 2019 class, and I'm saying they showed us something last year. One of the biggest reasons why we went to the Super Bowl in the first place. And now I'm thinking, you know about that sophomore jinx, that wall they like to hit? I think some of these guys, all four of them could break out. Jay, all four could just tear up. But there's going to be a standout or two. Jay, pick them out.
Man, yeah, it could be a possibility they have a sophomore slump. So I don't think Deebo will. The way how he plays the game, he plays too physical to me. You know what I'm saying? Unless he mentally gets break down. But I don't really see. Greenlaw, he played really well. I don't really see it.
And he didn't know what he was doing.
I think they confident. They got confidence in themselves. And it wasn't no fluke that they was, you know what I mean? Like, the way they played, it wasn't no fluke that they were just balling the way they was balling. I think it's going to be a little bit more on Nick Bosa because they're going to start double-teaming him more for the fact that he...
And also, Jay, how do you get better if you're Nick Bosa? I don't...
He's going to get better because...
He is,
God. Yeah. He's going to get better because last year he only had like 8 sacks, you know what I'm saying, as a rookie. And that's decent as a rookie, but, Javon Curse had 14.5 sacks as a rookie. You know what I mean? So I think
who was he playing with? Who was he playing with?
The Tennessee Titans. He was playing with the Tennessee Titans.
And who's on that front line with him?
Yeah. He didn't really have too many front line people.
See what I'm saying? Because DeForest Buckner got 10 sacks a year before. What did Buckner do the 2018? 12?
He had 12 sacks.
Yeah. And then when the party joined him, he came down. See, this is what it goes. If you're out there by yourself, a one-man record crew,
Yeah, but the thing is, that opens up, when you double team one player, that opens up another player. You know what I'm saying? And another player has to come in and dominate. Okay, Nick Bosa is getting double teamed. What should I do? Okay, pressure the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they're going to try because they know how a record crew Nick Bosa is. So maybe his stats go a little bit down. I don't see significantly, but people are going to say, oh, what happened to Nick Bosa? It's because they double teaming him. So that don't mean he's having a bad year. He's having a good year because that means they're having more eyes on him. They're trying to stop him. So once they stop him, That opened up for Kinlaw. That opens up D Ford.
Everybody
That opened up
eats.
for Armstead. Yes, everybody eats.
And Jay, it gets even better than that. I saw triple teams coming at Nick last year. You can't double team Nick and expect that to be effective. I've seen him blow through double teams quick. It's going to be interesting to see what they try to do with Nick. And if he gets better, triple teams are in jeopardy. I mean, this is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. It's gonna be a block party, and everybody gonna feast off the quarterback. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like to see, and that's what I think. I don't really see really downplay on our sophomore slump. I don't see really any players that are having that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really see that with Dante Pettis until to last year. So it could be a possibility. I don't know what the future holds, but the way Deebo played, I really hardly could really see that coming
he
from
can't
him.
Go down Dante's path.
Yeah, because he goes to the middle. He what's the name, like to run him with the with the run around. So
jet sweeps.
Yeah. So I don't think anybody really have a slump, but I'm biased because I'm a 49ers fan, so. I don't want them to have a sophomore slump. I want them to come out and ball out and get us back to that Super Bowl. Like
unfinished
if
business.
You would say, yes, because we are unfinished business. The last 2 Super Bowls we lost that we went to, we lost. So you know what I'm saying? We should have had 7 Super Bowls. To be honest with you.
We'd be
for real. I'm dead as serious. I'm dead as serious.
God.
Yes, you feel my pain, Ronbo.
Well, yeah, because we were right there knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Come on, kick it down, Niners.
Yeah,
they're not better than you. Beat them.
No, none of them team was. You know what I'm saying?
See,
it just so happened.
And it comes down to play calling a lot of the time, and it did again. And I think in both situations it kind of came down to play calling.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
I agree, and hopefully we can, this time not respect the other side of the field, so you still respect them, but also do your job and not over respect, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can respect your opponent, the other people crossing you so much that it interferes with what you got to do, and then you start putting the fear in. Oh, I didn't want to give Patrick Mahomes the ball. No, this is football. You got it. You got it. This is way of the sport.
Hope he does get it. That's why we got a defense. Don't be scared of nothing.
Yeah, that's the way it works. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Jay, we got to pull up though, Jay. Let me see you tomorrow on Monday Night Raw.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ronbo. It's a pleasure talking to you always.
Oh yeah.
Yes, good night, brother.
All right, fam. You too. Yeah, boy, I tell you. Hey, Mel. Hey, come on in, Mel.
You know what time it is when you hear that. You know what time it is when you hear that. Bang, bang. Oh, Jay, what's good, Ronbo?
Oh, Mel. Yeah. I'm just marveling at this 2019 class, and I'm thinking, how they go beat this last season's act. I mean, Nick Bosa, my God, if he gets better, they're going to declare the 49ers something illegal or something, right? Call him in for testing and stuff. And then you got Dre Greenlaw made me laugh so hard. Well, I didn't really fully understand the playbook until right around the playoffs. What? Really? And then, of course,
right.
you look at Deebo and Joe's saying things like, I've just never seen anybody looking more professional in their rookie year. I said, man, this is awesome. And we're still waiting for Jalen Hurd. Everybody expects a lot. Mel, where you at? Any rookies that you look at and think, I put my money on this particular man to be the breakout man on a season? As far as sophomores.
I can't put my money on just one, Ronbo. I think there's going to be a good deal of our rookies this season that's going to do work.
Mel, your microphone's bouncing around, Jay. You got a lot of noise going on. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, I did. Okay. You holding it? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I think that our organization found a sweet spot, and I think that they found their niche. And what I mean by that is they cracked the code and found the formula. So I think going forward, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drafting guys out of college that fit our system. And that's the thing that not many Niners fans understood this draft is that you don't look at the player as an individual player and his overall talent. You have to look at how he fits into the system. And our coaches and GM and our organization, they're finding guys that are perfect for the system, even if they're quote unquote not as good as maybe somebody else at the position coming out. So, and I think what we're going to end up doing is we're getting these guys and plugging them into our system that are great for the system, and they're going to do great, and because they're going to be a perfect fit. And once their rookie contract is up, I think we might trade them for value and do the same thing over and over again. Keep the few on offense and defense that are like necessary pieces that we just have to have, and keep the guys that are role players, and we don't have to pay that much. But those guys that are in the middle where they're good enough for other teams to give up something good, we're going to trade those guys away. So
Mel, you said
just
one
found
thing.
Guys that fit into our system.
Yeah, Mel, I want to ask you a question about that too. Do you think Kyle Shanahan is he just now establishing his? Because Kyle's always had that same system. I wonder. Why did they wait until now? You saw a little bit of it last year. In 2017, it seems like they were just going after people, like you're saying, the best players they could find for the positions they needed. This last 2 years, it seems like tough guys win. That's the route they're going to take.
Oh, no doubt. Well, I mean, we're in a different predicament this season than we were when they first came in. When they first came in, there wasn't much talent. They were still trying to find guys. That's why we saw guys like Jimmy Ward and Adrian Colbert being bounced around from position to position.
Yeah.
And they had that whole mentality, we're just going to put the best player on the field.
Good
and
point.
they had a lot of guys playing out of position.
The identity had not been established yet. Yes.
Right. And we didn't have the luxury of being able to just assess guys and plug them into, where we needed them, because we didn't really have a lot of talent at key positions. I know it wasn't long ago, before this 2019 season, I had to really debate and argue with people who were saying fire Robert Saleh. He stinks. He sucks. His
You and me
defense
both.
is trash.
I was on that.
And I'm trying to explain to them, you guys don't understand. Our D-line is butt cheek dust. There's not a defensive back in the NFL, in NFL history, that there's not a defensive back in NFL history who's going to be able to cover an NFL receiver for 12 seconds every play. It cannot happen.
Could not
what was
understand
going on.
that.
We didn't.
Trying to explain.
Right. And then, like I said, you had guys playing out of position and bouncing around. Jimmy Ward is going from corner to safety, left corner to right corner, nickel corner, strong safety, free safety. Same thing with Adrian Colbert. We brought him in, I think, as a corner. We moved him to safety. And, it was just a whole bunch of havoc and melee, man. We had no consistency. So we were forced, when we were drafting players, we were forced to kind of draft the best athlete, the best possible player that we could, instead of being able to focus on getting the right guy for the system.
So true.
So,
and that's why I look forward to next year.
We're good now.
Draft's going to be exciting every year, Mel. These guys, they know exactly what they want. And just like you said, they know which shoes fit. And I'm telling you right now, boy, this last draft is just killing. So,
Ronbo, I said this the last two shows, and I'm going to say it again in probably every show. Javon Kinlaw is going to do better than DeForest Buckner in his defense.
There's two more people that make sure that their name is out in front on that too. You and about two other guys. I think, who is that? Anyway, I'm starting to agree with you guys. I'm scared to say anything, but I'm pretty sure.
And Kello too.
Yeah.
Kello is about to do better. If you recall, when Kello first came in, rookie season and everything, and a little bit of the following season, he was playing very well, but we played more man-to-man coverage. He's a man-to-man specialist. That zone defense kind of confuses him, and we switched our defensive scheme last year and played a lot of zone. So, he was getting confused, but this year we have a new DBs coach, and we're going to be playing a little bit more man-to-man than we did before. So I think Akello is going to be able to shine a lot more in that role. I still think E-Man is going to be the starter, though. I think Kello is going to be nice. Yeah.
But you can't get too many solid guys to cover, because guys get hurt. And Tim Harris, I'm still curious about him. We'll see. So.
Right. Yeah.
Well, As usual. Good stuff, Mel. Let
Yes,
me
sir. All right,
see you tomorrow night
Ronbo.
on Raw. All
I
right.
will
You on
talk
your
to
way to
you
work?
tomorrow night.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm
forward.
standing outside of my job right now.
All right, fam.
Yep. All right, Ronbo.
See you tomorrow.
All right, I'm down.
There's
What's
Mel,
going on, my
subtle
bro?
observations.
All right.
Because, in fact, that was a good point because the face of the 49ers, it took a couple of years. That was part of the brick by brick. Who are they? And now we know who they are. 49ers are physical. I like that. Hey, Rebel D, no, Ronbo, we let them stick around too long and the refs help them. If we break off the feet, ain't no more kicking. Rebel D, I like that, fam. Thanks for the contribution, too. It sounds like MMA, Yeah. Oh, and Tom West, thanks, Tom. And I tell you, I like your pair, man. He's a lot of fun. Looks like he's having a great time too. Thanks, Tom, for that contribution. Really appreciate it.
That shirt today.
It is. Oh, it is. It is James. James from New Jersey. That's why I got confused. James.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
James, man, we're sitting up here talking about that 2019 class. Here they come, 2020. Are they still going to continue to kick butt? Has the league taken a look at these people and said, oh, we got to do something about Deebo? And Nick, guys, we're gonna put about 3 guys on Nick at all times. But you guys got to be quick on this, or Nick Bosa will make a fool out of every last one of you, and we'll end up losing that ball game. And Dre Greenlaw talking about, I didn't really understand the defense until toward the end of the season. What? And everybody's waiting for Jalen Hurd. Like the music is playing, the red carpet is rolled out there. All stand for the emergence of Jalen Hurd. It's funny stuff. This team's so full of drama now. Well, James, who's your sophomore?
My sophomore, I have to say, would probably be, I think this year here, if I had to say a sophomore, we seen a rookie last year, and 2 of them actually, in Greenlaw and Deebo, emerge to be, they make the cut. They're just that good, and they're talented.
James, are you in the same place as usual?
This year,
Your signal's breaking up.
my signal's breaking up. Okay, hold on one second. Let me try this. All right, how about now? Can you hear me better?
Still some. Okay, let's continue to roll. See what happens.
All right. Well, I think we know Greenlaw and Deebo, were breakout players. I think to see a healthy Jalen Hurd, as well as possibly a healthy Jerick McKinnon, and to see that young linebacker we got, Al Shaziz. I'd like to see him, be able to, get on the field more and start to grow. I mean, he had some bumps and bruises, got thrown into the fire in the Saints game, and
made a couple of mistakes. But he's a rook. He's a rook.
Yeah,
he has that. He can do that.
Yeah, he's got a rookie. You can't, you get some rookies that are just, they make the cut right off the very beginning, and we've been successfully able to see that in quite a few young players. And so now, I like what the other caller, Will, had said earlier too about, you take and you keep your core of players, and you look to draft talented guys that the 4-year career, that they may have with your team, you plan on possibly, those are going to be players that you're going to trade down the line to keep your team in the conference every year. And, just look at the blueprints of other teams that have did it. The Patriots have been in similar situations, and we ain't the Patriots, but at the end of the day.
Not yet.
Yeah, at the end of the day, here we are. I'm not going to tell you no lie. I'm hearing these different things about Kittle, but what I do know in that case, I meant to say this the other night I talked to you. I came on Friday night and had to leave early before I was able to come on your program. But I'll say this much. They said that the Niners, there's been conversation said that we offered him $14 million per year. Now, at his position as a tight end, I understand he's going to reset the market, but I also, to me, I think 14 is even a little too much because guess what? Even if it hadn't been a problem with the COVID-19, I think that a lot of teams may see themselves, envision themselves with a player like Kittle, but I don't think a lot of teams, owners, are going to agree to, use the market right now for tight ends at 10-6 with Hunter Henry. So are you going to pay somebody almost $3.5 million more per year at that position? So, and then with the COVID right now, there's no financial assurance in the near future for the 2020 season.
They're pushing for that big number at a bad time. This is going to make anybody hedge. This is why the 49ers may have advantage here for that special reason.
Oh, they do.
Nobody in the league
Ronbo
is going to pass that huge number. Go ahead.
Listen, not only that, you have to realize, too, and take into account here, the franchise of tight end when the market's 10-6 right now, if we franchise him, that's going to be around $12.1 million a year or less.
I think it comes into less than 12, actually.
Yeah, if you franchise in 2 years, you're spending less than $25 million for 2 years. And if you can't come to some type of agreement that's sound for the team, because right now we've seen Buckner walk out that door. We paid Eric. They offered Buckner $18 million per year. Now, with that being said, here comes Kittle. Now, I understand he's a very important part of that offense, but truth be told, for the money he may demand, could he be that great on another team without Kyle Shanahan? I really don't think so.
Well,
but now, I mean, he's a talented player, and he's the engine. He's the engine that drives the train, but that's
you don't want to set that precedent because we could have a great player next year. What if in the end of the 4 years, Deebo's asking for $30 million? Yeah, the 49ers are between a rock and a hard place. So, but James, we're actually going to get into that tomorrow because we're going to see what develops between now and tomorrow with George Kittle. So I'm going to look for you then.
Yes, sir. All right, Ronbo. Well, thank you for what you do, the platform you provide.
Thanks,
everyone,
James.
Please do your best to be safe and careful out there, especially people of color and people that are just plain human beings of another color. Just be safe and careful and do your best. This COVID-19 is still a problem. And by the grace of God, just do our best, everybody, to make it. Niner Empire, Niner for life. Thank you for all that you do, Ronbo. Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Right,
talk to you tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, D on.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D, I'm so excited about our freshman class of 2019. It's interesting that I think some of us saw what we saw coming. Everybody knew Nick was going to come in and tear up, but you didn't really know to what magnitude he was going to do. Deebo Samuel, in the first few weeks of the season, he looked better than expected, but he still looked a little bit like a rookie. He had some very key moments that were not good, but overall he was great. And then you look at Dre Greenlaw, who still makes me laugh every time I think about what he said to a camera. I didn't really fully understand the defense until toward the end of the season. Hey, Dre, tell you what, we can't wait until you fully understand the concepts of the Robert Saleh defense. Good God almighty. And then there's the mystery of Jalen Hurd. And I know how you are, D. If you're not out there showing D is like, D, you from Missouri?
No, I'm from L.A.
Because, see, the show me state, because D say D has nothing good to say about Jerick McKinnon. He's done with Jerick. Jalen Hurd was sitting right next to Jerick all season. Neither one of them was doing a damn thing. So, Jalen's one of the sophomores that's in position to be the breakout candidate supreme. What do you think, D?
Hey, look, you hit the nail on the head. You know how I am about players. Like, if you ain't out there producing, there's nothing I can really say. Yes, you can bank on possibly potential, but potential means nothing if you're not out there showing it.
True.
So for me, the person that's going to have a big, the people that will have big years are obviously is going to be your Deebos, it's going to be your Dre's, because they're in their sophomore years. I don't see Deebo taking a step back. I see him taking a step forward, strictly based on the fact that he's the leader in that wide receiver room now. You don't have another person in the wide receiver room that you can go to outside of him. So I would say probably you'll have Deebo take a big jump forward. The reason that I'm not going to give any starters is strictly based on the fact that this Shanahan's offense doesn't call for starters. Shanahan's offense calls for whoever is a good fit for the play he's going to run. If Shanahan, what people don't realize is if Shanahan thought that Ross Dwelly was a better fit for a play that he was going to run than George Kittle, Dwelly would be on the field.
And Warner
That's
wouldn't have
just
been
how
drafted.
he works. Yeah. So the drafting Ayuk, you'll see Ayuk mixed in there, but I can tell you right now, if he's healthy, nobody else is going to play that slot besides Trent Taylor. I like Chris Fink. I saw his tape. But I can tell you right now, he just looks like a poor man's Trent Taylor to me. So you're going to have them two battling it out for a slot position. And I can tell you right now, if Trent is healthy, you're not going to beat him out because him and Jimmy had an instant connection. Instant.
I agree.
Like it didn't take time. They developed properly. So you got to think about it. You put Deebo, right? You put Deebo on one side. You put KB on the other. You throw Trent in the slot. Then you got George there. And then the thing is when you have all the four of those pieces on the field and that monstrous offensive line that we have, then you put Juice in the backfield possibly. Then you put Raheem the Dream back there or TC, whoever you feel. What are you going to do as a defense? Because you don't know who to cover because you don't know who's getting the ball.
And remember,
that's the issue.
And remember the guy that you do not appreciate because he has not tore up enough real estate under his shoes. Jared McKinnon, if he's in the backfield along with the guy, now you have 5 solid options. That's frightening.
And the thing with McKinnon is for me, for anybody listening, I know what he can do because I did my homework. I watched McKinnon when he backed up AP. I know what McKinnon is capable of. It's just since he's been with us, there hasn't been any production.
Any activity.
So
yes.
nobody can fault. Yeah, nobody can fault me for how I feel on that. You ain't done nothing since you've been in San Francisco, but be on the bench, and that's a fact. You cannot dispute that. My wife went to school for criminal law. One thing she always tells me all the time is you cannot dispute facts. Facts are facts. That it is what it is.
Oh, D. I bet you don't even get in any arguments with Jazz, do you? You just say, Jazz, you're right, because you gonna go Judge Judy on me.
She wins most of the arguments, man. She hit me with something I ain't even heard before. I don't even waste my time.
Bring the famous corpus in there on your butt.
Yeah, man. But our defense, our D-line, facts. But the one thing I want people to pay attention to is the two positions, is the DB group and the offensive line. The reason being is because the fight for the backup spots are going to be crazy. I predict the starting line is going to be Trent, then you got Lakin, you got Weston, you got Daniel, and you got Mike. But then behind them, we still got a bunch of people that want a job. I'm sure Sean Coleman is like, man, look, I just got injured by accident. I'm trying to get out here and do my thing. I'm sure all these other players are out there going, I need to be able to make it happen. I need to be as hungry as possible. So these guys are going to get out there. They're going to want it. But it's just going to be a situation where, hey, you got to get out there, prove it, and show it. And I think I have to agree with everybody. I got to agree with Mel. Kinlaw is going to have a monster year. And a lot of it is I think Kinlaw is going to have the same type of year that Bosa did, where he's going to be going off raw talent. And then once he starts to understand as the season progresses, how to actually put it into the right way, as Kasarik is screaming in his ear and Salah is making sure that he understands how the technique works, it's going to be all over because once he gets it and it clicks, you're going to see that raw talent turn into pure talent where it's just second nature. It's like, okay, these are the plays I got to run. This is what I got to do. I'm hitting it. And
D,
he'll be
what's funny? I just want to piggyback on that real quick. Salah does not let any of his players. Remember Nick last year? He's still got some things to learn. But I think he'll be okay. Salah was talking like that. Salah's, he's browbeating Nick. It ain't going to work. Let me see if he does it. Same thing, though.
He is not going to give it to you. He's not going to give it to you. He's not going to give you that satisfaction he's not going to give the media the satisfaction either to say, this person is great, this is that. Yep. Yeah, you don't want somebody's head to get big and then they have them start slacking going, oh, coach loves me. I'm doing great. No, you can always get better at anything you do in life, let alone in football. So, hey, it's going to be a beautiful season. I'm sticking with 15-1 and 16-0. I really don't see us really having a game that we can lose if we have all our players healthy and we know what we're doing. And plus, right now, I'm feeling bad because I hear a lot of people keep trying to give Dante the benefit of the doubt. Y'all got to let that go. Let that man go bake his cookies and play with his kitten. Stop thinking he don't want to play football. If I could tell you right now, if they Dante, if they said, Dante, to make this team, you're gonna have to walk over to Javon and tell him straight up, hey, this is my spot. You want it, you got to come get it. He wouldn't even do that. I don't. Yeah, that seems like a verbal confrontation. I'm a very humble person, and I don't. I feel like and then you're gonna see Juwan walk up and punch him dead in his face and go, dude. I got in a fight before, right? Yeah. I'm not soft, Dante, so you can go ahead and sit on the bench where you belong. I'll take your spot. I'll keep the field warm for you. And you can just keep looking at it, with whatever color hair you feel you need. You can blue, pink, purple, orange, whatever it is. Just,
and
hey,
D,
do
that's
a garden
the thing.
and go.
You can only do that to your hair if you're Odell Beckham Jr. Otherwise, you best leave your hair alone and look like you're busy with football. And you know what Jawan's going to say to him if he does send him over there? Jawan, go look at him. That's my position, punk. Dante's going to run
That's
back.
That's what Deebo did to him.
All right. So, all right.
Deebo did
calm
to
down.
him. Yeah. Hey, Dante, you don't want to get on the field? Nah, coach. I think I pulled a hammy. Yeah, where's the equipment guy? My hamstring hurt. He's just gonna keep looking at him as he's walking on the field, and that's when you see Shanahan look down and go, man.
And he's out of here. No, Shanahan's not gonna put up with that. We
gotta
go, fam.
Wasted,
All
right, brother. I'll see you tomorrow night on Raw, Ronbo.
All right, fam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, check out,
evening,
fam. Deion Johnson. Click him. You'll be loving it. All right, D. Have a good night, fam.
All right.
Oh man. But the first thing we go without taking shots at Dante, that's another prediction we should make. Are we going to do it during preseason? Are we going to do it in week 3 if he remains on the team? More Vegas odds. Does Dante make the team, number one? And is he going to have an impact this team on this year? All right, there's John V. John!
Ronbo, my man.
Hey, John.
How we doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Anytime I'm talking 49ers football, it's like I go into this, you go to sleep and ate the right thing to get that nice dream, It's kind of safe every time I start talking 49ers football, man. It just puts you in a and it's not drug-induced. It's just a natural high, man. I love it. Especially looking at our team now, John.
Yeah.
That 2019
That's what I get when I get that notification for your show, Ronbo. I get that crazy feeling, man. I get to talk to my team. I get to talk to you. I get to chat with the fan. Good time.
That's great. That's great, John. Glad to hear it. I'll tell you what, John. You look at that 2019 class, and even as good as we thought they were going to be, they were even better. So, breakout time, sophomore slump be damned. I got a feeling we may have multiple breakouts, but who for sure? And name them in that order you'd like to. That's going to just headline 2020.
Well, now that I know that Greenlaw didn't pick up on things till the playoffs, that's got me a little worried because Kyle's going to change it up and Robert Saleh change it up. I hope you can keep it. I hope you can keep up, Greenlaw.
I didn't think about that. That's worrisome, actually.
Yeah, that worries me. That worries me a little bit. But that's fine. I expect Deebo first and foremost, Ronbo, to just to be incredible, man. He was a few hundred yards off of 1,000 yards. So, I mean, that guy got 57 receptions this year, Ronbo, and he was breakout. And even that dude, if I'm not mistaken, at the Super Bowl party, or was it? Yeah, it was a party that they had. They were dressed in their white, and he said something about, this is one of the hardest playbooks I've ever seen. I mean, I didn't even understand it for a while there.
I wouldn't have said that in public. I would. Dre's an interesting person, man. That's pretty funny. Of all times to say it, too.
Yeah, so, I think Deebo is really going to break out, Ronbo. I expect him to have a great season. I mean, I think he picked up what he needed to learn from E-Man, and now we'll just go from there. I mean, we'll see how well it sunk in. But I mean, a few callers ago said something about you can bet that Trent will be there. He's not getting cut. Like he'll be in the slot. I agree 100%. I remember the Jaguars game when Jimmy just unleashed that against that team.
With ease.
It was our fourth victory, I believe.
Yeah.
He and Trent established a chemistry that was literally immediate. So when you see that gives you nothing but hope. Now, all Jimmy needed was for him to get healthy and stay healthy, and that remains to be seen. But if Trent says he's ready, he's ready. But Greenlaw, I'd say I think everybody, Ronbo, anybody who's going to come back is solid. I think our linemen stood up. I think Skule stood up. I think he's going to be phenomenal. Although I don't know if he's a sophomore. But,
well, no, he is. I mean, he was a freshman last year. He just was drafted last year. So this is his second year.
I think he could do I think he did as well as you could ask him to do. I mean,
well.
So I even think Jimmy would technically have his second full season.
Well, there's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Jimmy G in a second. Jimmy's a sophomore in some respects. It's true.
In some respect, yeah. You might as well just put him right in there with the rest of them. They all established. They got the best experience one could ask for, Ronbo. They went to the Super Bowl. Once you've gone to the Super Bowl and you lost the Super Bowl, I mean, there's nothing but anger and redemption and revenge. So
knowing you should have won that game, knowing it, and so you go into the next season knowing you got the capability. Yeah. Sure. John, though, if you're Nick Bosa, how do you get better, and what do you expect? What are you expecting to see from an improved?
Naturally, I'm a Buckeye fan, so I've watched him grow. I've watched him grow from the Buckeyes to my team, Ronbo. So I've seen him just get stronger. That boy's got football in his DNA. I mean, he comes from a lineage of football. So that dude, with a little bit, I don't know. I mean, is he getting a new coach this year? Our D-line coach is still
Kasurik's still there.
Kasurk. So
he did mention some
he'll
things.
He'll eat up whatever you teach him.
Yeah, he says his vision improved gradually during the course of the season. So maybe his vision will be a little sharper as to be able to recognize things on the field a little quicker because Nick was just going balls to the wall all the time.
Right.
Some of those times he got chipped and things like that. Had Nick been able to visualize what was going on all around him instead of the rage that was racing toward the quarterback, he may have avoided some of those chips. There's some things that he's probably going to see. We're going to notice. I'm trying to understand how I'm going to notice because I can't imagine the intensity coming down. And how do you add to it? That's what I'm thinking. How do you add to what Nick was doing?
I think you just dial it back a little bit, Ronbo. You dial that intensity back. Just dial everything back a little bit, young man. You are excited. Your name is in the media. You are a standout. You are 8 sacks as a rookie on a Super Bowl run. I don't give a damn. That's fantastic. I mean, that's great. So what? Well, let's say he gets 12 this year.
I think 13? So, and easily.
If he dials it back, Ronbo, just dial that rage back, and everything.
And focus it a little differently.
Will be a lot wider.
Yeah.
Sure. He'll see more. I mean, we all get pumped. I was an athlete. I got pumped, and I used to overrun my mark. I used to do everything. I was so quick.
Because you want to impress. Yeah, until you get that veteran-type mindset, you want to impress on every play. And you know how coaches are. Come on, let's hustle, guys. Let's hustle, hustle. Hustle, translated in your mind, is to balls to the wall on every play.
Yeah.
And when you come off the
dialed that
field,
create,
it's crazy what they do to your mind in football.
Absolutely. So I expect Ronbo, even Bosa, we'll see him grow. We're going to see it. He's going to be quicker. He'll be quicker off his mark. I don't know. I'm excited, Ronbo. You can't get the football season here fast enough.
Yeah. Well, it would be here now if they could just get the guys out there and at least working out. We'd be getting all those fun reports.
Yeah,
those are great.
I mean,
are
you confident that they're working out elsewhere?
Oh yeah. These guys know. George Kittle's actually setting a new standard for working out the way he's got clips going on. He's got this equipment all over his house that some company he's endorsing.
I saw that. I saw that. It was launching balls at his face. That was impressive. I hope
you know how insane he is. He did that. You could probably set the machine for an area, but George probably wants to set his face. Well, you know what? I'm worried about my face, and that'll help me stay sharp. Throw bullets at him. And of course you got
$20 million.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting for tomorrow to see if that was just Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. But it's scary.
Yeah, I hope so. That is scary, man. I mean, I love the man, and he deserves to be the highest paid. But Jesus, the highest paid is not by many million. I mean,
you double the salary of the highest paid. Oh, come on, George, make him stop.
That's insane.
John, in fact, let's wake up tomorrow and see what happens then, John. I think let's get on that tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, John.
All right, Ronbo.
Thanks, man. Talk to you
know
tomorrow.
it, my man. Always a pleasure.
Hey,
good
thanks,
talking
John.
to you. Good night, brother.
Same here, fam. Night. Hey, Rick.
Sir, what's good, man?
Oh, Rick, man, your sophomores now. Them babies that we got last year, they grew up quick. Whoa!
Absolutely.
Grew up during the middle of the season.
Absolutely.
Tell you,
absolutely.
I don't think we've seen anything yet, Rick. I mean, I'm just trying to. Nick is a guy, and Deebo too, to some degree. These are guys. They're going to improve. Well, Jesus Christ, if they do, you got Pro Bowlers right there right away. And Jalen Hurd has got all the potential in the world. It's only that's holding him back is his back. See what I did there?
Holding his back.
And you got Dre Greenlaw, the mystery player that nobody fully understands, doing the things he did. I mean, he single-handedly handled the Hawks all year. I mean, both games. Dre Greenlaw was the man. We just didn't win because the field goal kicker missed the kick. But what if you give that game to Dre, you give the second game to Dre for sure, and some other things he's done during the course of the year. Dre Greenlaw's a bad man. And by the way, let me just address Texas Boy. Texas Boy, he's a 5th-round pick. Hey, I got news for you, Texas Boy. So is George Kittle, and he's better than any tight end in Texas. All right, Rick, your feelings.
That's without question. Pretty much echoing everything you said. I think all three of them are going to take a step forward because of the fact that Nick Bosa came in like gangbusters, but I think after a while he just started to figure out even more. Dre Greenlaw came in later, and Deebo really kind of came on to the second half of the season. But I think now that they all had a full year of playing as well as getting into the postseason and everything else, and they I think, like they said, the game will start to slow down even more.
Yeah.
And so you really see, so they'll be able to just actually react and not kind of think. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times with players, at first they try to make sure they're lined up correctly and make sure this, like with Deebo, run this route or whatever. But once they're able to just kind of know what their assignments
more about
are,
what they're doing,
and they don't have to think about them, then they're able to play faster and freer because they're no longer thinking; they're just reacting and playing like they normally would.
Yeah, that's what you want.
So yeah, I expect Yeah, exactly. So I expect all three of them to light it up even more. I mean, it's going to be amazing, man. I'm like Dion. I know I've been saying like 13-3 or 14-2, but if I just be honest, I'm really thinking like 15-1, 16-0, man. Because even when I go back and look at the schedule over and over again,
It was
like
hard last year. That was a tough schedule.
It was hard this year, but even the games that we lost we can't
barely.
honestly say that
And should have won.
We barely lost those games. Like we should have had an even better record than 13-3 last year. But like you said before, we just had some unfortunate little things. But I just think the main thing is long as everybody comes back healthy, and we have a pretty solid, healthy team for the full year, then I don't see anybody being able to handle this because you're talking about D Ford and Nick Bosa on the edges, Kinlaw
Ford is
and
healthy.
Armstead up the middle. Then you got Greenlaw, you got Warner, and you got Quan Alexander, man, E-Man and Sherm, Tart and Ward, man. And then on the other side, we have Mostert and we have possibly McKinnon as well as Coleman, Deebo, Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne,
and Rick,
George Kittle, man, Trent Taylor coming back.
Rick, they're all playing fast. It's no more hesitation, no more thinking. Move fast. People don't know the evolving 49ers next year are going to blow people's minds.
It's almost going to be to the point where it's not actually fair because the thing about it is I just think this is the year you're going to actually see more diversity and more innovation with Kyle Shanahan's passing playbook this year.
Yes.
Last year it was more with just a running game
and
because
different aspects
we really had
of
to kind of lean on that more because of our receiving core. But I think with this year and Jimmy G in the line and everything, I think you're going to see him open up more. And so at this point, it's going to be like, after a while, like I said before, you might see games where Nick Mullins in the game, he's starting in, you got other players, and it's going to be like people I promise you, I almost feel like our 94 team starting all over again, and we about to go through and just beat everybody, man. We're beating everybody.
And with an ease that frightens people around the league. And this is why there's no way to plan for a 49ers offensive attack because Kyle doesn't have a standard to kill you. He uses any number of ways. And you know what I like about Rick? Kyle looks at your defense, he picks out the weak link, and he goes after that. This is like, it takes a real mind to do that. Because some guys coaches just come in with a standard set of plays, and this is what we do. Stop us if you can. No, Kyle says, no, I'm going to look at your defense. And wherever you're weak, I'm going to tear it up.
and that's exactly what's going to happen, man. That's what's going to happen. I mean, as explosive as our running game was last year, it's going to be even more explosive because now they don't know what to do. They can't just put 9 in the box anymore and just leave our receivers open because one-on-ones or whatever, because we have the receivers now that can actually beat you one-on-one. And so Jimmy G will be looking at chops, be like, okay, cool. I'm going to hit you with a play action. I'm going to hit you with deep balls this year, bubble screen. It's going to be off the chain, man. It's going to be off the charts. So I'm looking for, like I said before, I keep saying Jimmy G is going to be the MVP this year. Coming year, the MVP of the Super Bowl. Our running game is going to be phenomenal. Deebo's Pro Bowler. We know, obviously, Nick Bosa is going to be that dude. Warner's going to be that dude. Sherman. E-Man Mosley, man. Quan Williams. Dude, honestly, dude, it's like, I can't wait for even the Madden team, the Madden to come up this year. Because I want to see how they rank our squad because we should be above. I mean, because, no, man, we are that team. We are that team.
And Rick, I tell you, I'm so, one of the reasons why I'm so glad we got Nick Bosa, for the same reason that I actually said in last year, is you know what? I don't want to play. I don't want us playing against Nick Bosa, okay? But he go get injured. Okay, but I do not. What if he doesn't? And then we got to play against
Right.
him. See, I knew it. See, now
Man,
teams are
right.
trying to figure out what to do with him. I love it.
I mean, think about it. People are looking for Nick Bosa, and the name they keep throwing out a lot is Deebo. Oh, we need to have a Deebo type of receiver. We need a receiver that can get a ball behind the field. You know what I'm saying? A handoff and run it down the field like a running back type of receiver.
A multi-talented killing machine. Rick, we gotta go.
Man, I mean, look. We're still that team. Obviously, man, not a faithful, not an empire. Continue to wash your hands, social distancing, everything. We're going to get together. United States of America, we're going to win the Super Bowl coming up. You heard it here first. 15-1, 16-0. You got it. I'm out, man.
Good stuff, Rick. Have a good night.
You sir.
I do worry, though. I don't want to go undefeated on the season. There's something bad about going undefeated. Every team that's went undefeated is only, except for the Miami Dolphins, way back in history, got away with running the board from beginning of the season, even preseason games. And they went all the way to the Super Bowl, didn't lose one single game. God, everybody else has done that, has failed. Ask Tom Brady. Nudge. No, we Notch does this a lot. He calls and goes to sleep. Oh, Jason Witten is not better than George Kittle. Listen, we come back to Notch. Good Lord, that's embarrassing. IB.
Ronbo. What's going on tonight, bro?
Oh, fam, it's so much fun. Remember those days, IB, when people said 49ers ain't got no talent? And I used to get so mad. And people were right. Back in 2016, 17, we didn't have any talent yet. But brick by brick, we got talent now. And now we're talking about breakout sophomores. And as I said, Deebo's already been penciled in as could be the breakout player of 2020. But Deebo may not be the only one on this team. I mean, you look around him. But what are you thinking?
Man, when I see you say sophomore, I gotta say sophomore in our system because we got some veteran players who are here for a second year now, and man, I think this is gonna be D Ford's breakout year. I think he's gonna have. It's just too many people on that defensive line. We saw his potential last year. This year, they don't know who to block, and he's the quickest one off the line. So. I expect him first and foremost to show why people need to get off his back a little bit. I expect Emmanuel Mosley to step up because he's the most physical cornerback that we have. So I expect him to be as physical and more knowledgeable this year. I expect I can't say Jimmy Ward because this is like his 6th year with us, but I want to say. Let me see who else we looking at. As
far as the sophomores go, you added, but Mosley, I forgot. Is Mosley's second year? It is a second year. It was.
Yeah, because he really did. He only played like a game.
He got hurt that first year.
Yeah, but exactly. Who was I gonna say just now? Deebo. I think Deebo, but I think Deebo. The expectations for Deebo is real high, and I think Deebo. Is coming about being more physical than what we've seen him before. So I think Deebo typically.
Well, that'd be rough.
I think Deebo typically will explode mid-season like he did last year because Deebo's still got to figure out what body he's playing in. You know what I'm saying? Is he playing in a running back frame, or is he going to? Exactly. So we got to figure out how that's going to go, and it's going to be beautiful. But that's kind of my take. Definitely Nick Bosa. But some of these guys I want to stay quiet on because Nick got a lot of expectations, but like I said, there's so many pieces on that line now. You got speed and power. Last year we didn't know who was coming off the line. This year you have no clue because now we actually got the middle clogged up. This is like when we had Stubblefield and Brian Young type. type defense. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
And
It's
can you imagine him
different.
trying to challenge the Rook? Okay, guys, here's the game
can't.
plan. We're going to run right at Javon Kinlaw. Who, Coach?
He wants that
You're the running back,
physical.
ain't you?
He wants
Yeah, but I
that
ain't running at
physical.
him.
Exactly. Right. I mean, don't let me forget. Obviously, Greenlaw. I believe is going to have a phenomenal year. I'm a big fan of Aziz Ashir. Shair, I think he's going to have a good year. Just because he got familiarized with the system a little bit last year, So, if we could get this kid Hurd to come and play some ball, man,
with his
that'd be
size and athleticism, my God,
Yeah.
that dude's a wrecking
Yeah.
machine. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see
Yeah,
that.
man. So I don't know. There's so much potential. What's really crazy is what we're really gonna do. You got to do another show about that receiving group, man, because what
Just
we
wait to
gonna do
see.
with all those guys, man?
We just wait to see.
You know what I'm
We're
saying?
waiting for to get them to camp because then we can start. You get them little
Right.
instances and examples during the
Right.
course of camp, and somebody's gonna be dominating, and then we're gonna hear about
Well-
Dante. And Dante Pettis today held a
Yeah.
clinic during. He was 9 for 9, and a couple of those
Right.
touchdowns were against Richard Sherman. I was like, what?
Well, I mean, we're going to hear about Dante. We're going to hear about Trent Taylor. We're going to hear about Hurd. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hear about all of these guys, man. And we're going to hear about Jennings. We're going to hear about Warner, the other tight end.
Hey, keep
Twelly,
going. You got a long way to go because you got a lot of wide receivers, man. I tell you, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Hawkins, the little fullback. Well,
fullback from Fresno.
the fullback kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of potential, man. Who knows what we're gonna do? I don't expect us to play the same ball this year. I heard Mel say he expects us to be more man coverage, and I like his take on a lot of our views and things, but I disagree with that because we went and we got the defensive back coach who coached with Chris Eric. So that right there, we didn't play much man last year. We liked the zone. We got a couple more backs this year. We got a couple more backs that's familiar with our system. Cover 3 would be a little bit easy to sneak some guys in there and float Fred Warner around like how he likes to do, and bring them fast guys like Greenlaw and let Quan cover a little bit, So, but if Jason Verrett is healthy,
oh yeah, but I mean, if
he's healthy,
then he's gonna be special, right? And I want to see what Tim Harris is like too. The thing is, though, IB, just one question. I often the coverages sometimes when they Sal every now and then he'll drop him out of zone and he will go man on certain plays and certain times. I always wonder. I question the moment they call that play, and I'm going to look at the percentage a little closer next year as to when do we get burnt on that and when do we do not. And because of course, if Sal called that, he has something going on up front as well. It's all and you know how the game goes. It's all a part of a synchronicity that every now and then falls out of sync. I saw that happen a few times. It says, "Oh, that was
injuries killed us. Injuries killed us because when we lost Quan, who's a cover, who knows the language in the secondary as well. When we lost him and we had to put Shair in there and then Greenlaw, those guys they can read what's coming through, but they can't read the coverages too well yet. So that kind of screwed us a little bit.
Yeah, in that Arizona
and then
game,
we were still and we were still mixing
deep downfield.
Yeah.
What happened? I looked at that. I couldn't figure out what happened on that play.
Yeah.
How was Mosley that far out of position?
Yeah. See, Mosley, he got caught a couple times, even in the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
In man, playing man, covering them guys all from sideline to sideline. He has to fall back and play the zone. You know what I'm saying? If he plays that zone and understands that zone, he understands he's got help.
It was understanding, wasn't it? Because, see, that's why when him and Salah sit down and look at film, is he asking Salah any questions? Is Salah telling him what he did wrong? Because if I see him make that mistake again, I'm going to lose my mind. E-Man. All right.
Well, Joe Woods was a great coach, but who knows what this guy here is going to do. So, I have great expectations for us, man. And I'll definitely be back tomorrow and we'll see what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Looking forward to that. IB.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you send me a DM yet on Twitter? Because again.
Yeah, I sent you one. My man John V found me. Shout out to John V. He found me on there. Yeah.
John!
Yeah.
Help me find IB. Okay, I'm looking again today. I said, I can't find IB. All right.
I sent
I'm
you.
going to find you today.
All right, man.
I'm going to send out a posse.
All right.
We're going to find you. All right, fam.
Yeah, my man. You do that. You have a good night.
All right. Later, IB.
All right.
Oh,
yep.
God. Yeah, because the defense, but like we were saying earlier, the defense has some things they've got to get down a little more solid, more. Guys got to realize when they make a mistake, and they've got to grow for those mistakes. Don't continuously make that same mistake because other coaches are watching and they know you're vulnerable, and they'll look at you as this weak spot and they'll pick on it. That's just the way it works. Hey, Nudge. Notch, and leave your mic open so we can hear you sleeping. Surely,
Ronbo.
We're talking about your favorite second-year players tonight. Who is that all-star cast of sophomores wearing those red and gold uniforms, and who's going to have the biggest impact in 2020? Sleo, you're thinking.
What I'm thinking?
Yep.
Thinking about the Red Rifle that appeared in Dallas.
Yep.
He's about to be a starter,
Misfired.
huh? Red BB
Couldn't find
gun?
a pin. Yeah.
How about them Cowgirls? How about them Lambs? How about them Seacocks?
Yep.
How about them Arizona Dirty Bird Cardinals?
Yep.
And last but not least, how about them Oakland, Las Vegas, Raider Chippendales?
You don't have to pay to get in. In fact, the Chippendales Answers will have to give you money for being in there. Oh, hey. It's just so much fun. We get to talk crazy like this for the next 3-4 years. The window's wide open. It will continuously be open.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. I mean, how old is Nick? What is Nick, 23, 22, 23? Deebo, around the same age. And Jimmy G, a quarterback can last until he's 30 years old, 35 at peak performance. So there you go with that. And George Kittle, as soon as we give him all the money in San Francisco, God, that's a scary situation. We'll talk more about that. I'm waiting for something to develop over into Monday because the conversation I saw today scared the bejesus out of me. And Mostert, but we're so good. I love talking about it. Why are there other fans in here? You got Chanel, other fans are in here and they're mocking us and fighting with people in the chat. Why? Because they know the superiority, the subordination that they will now have to endure for years to come. It's just overwhelming. Oh!
We're almost there, Rumbo. We
Yeah.
got there last year, but we just couldn't win the chip. Well,
Yeah.
I think we're there. This time we need to execute and finish.
Please.
This year.
They were kids. They're given last year off. They had to learn. They weren't supposed to be there anyway, Shalio.
Now they're experienced.
Yes.
So we got experience on our side now.
Mm-hmm. And bitterness, anger, frustration.
Anger.
Yeah.
We got players that are pissed off.
Mm-hmm. And they know they're better than everybody else. See, that's the best thing, Shalio. Confidence can take you a long way. Not cocky, but confident. You go out there and you do your job. Nobody can deal with you. Nobody. You got the best offensive line maybe in the NFL. Your defensive line is ridiculous. You know, and that's where the wars are won in the trenches. Look at us. God.
Someone in the team does not have confidence, and he plays with kitty cats.
Uh-oh.
His name is Dante Pettis.
You're going to mention Dante before.
And, his friends, brought him over to the park to play with kitty cats.
Yeah.
He got a little haircut. He tried to, disguise himself thinking it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pettis. A little Johnny Bravo haircut.
Oh, God.
We're gonna see how he does in preseason.
Boy, he'd better do something. He knows, too. Can you imagine what he thinks about when he goes to bed? Oh, man, everybody's giving me
kitty cats.
People don't like my
He's
cats.
thinking of kitty cats.
He thinks we're picking on him. People don't like my cats. They don't like my hair. Man, I could have, if they wouldn't have drafted Emmanuel Sanders, I was going to take over. And Deebo, God, he comes in and he's my teammate. I can't be mad.
You mean trade for Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah. That did it for Dante. And then Deebo came in and said, hey, Shanahan, actually, Dante was still in the mix. Deebo just sort of took that job away from him, kind of. That's my position, punk. And that was all she wrote for her. Yeah. Dante was still in there until week 5 or 6.
I'll tell you what. I can't respect the guy that catches the ball and he's already hurting. He already dropped the ball and he's already hurting. When they specifically told him to get into football shape.
You're right. Dante better not come in there not being hard this year, man, because he's had nothing but time to work out and get strong. He went out in camp every day, so it's not like he has a report to Santa Clara facility every day, so he better be getting strong. He's hanging out with Jimmy, though. I understand he's working out with the guys.
He's not working out with the guys, Ronbo. I'm telling you, he's working out. He has the yarn that he's playing with while the other guys are lifting weights and catching balls. He's on the ground. He's playing with his little yarn. He's acting like a kitty cat. He can't catch. He's not trying to catch with his cat-like reflex the ball. He's not doing any of that. He's playing with the cats. He's at the park.
Well, since Deebo is going to get all of his
cat.
Deebo's going to get all of his snaps. Does he go over 1,000 yards this year? And if he does, in this offense,
I think so.
Yeah, because it's going to be tough. You got that ball being sprayed all over the field. When Shanahan's offense is at its peak performance, that ball's going everywhere. There's about 4 or 5 guys in double digits as far as yardage is concerned, right? So, and receptions, actually. So you got to figure, man, what is going to be the case? Can Deebo dominate? Because if Jimmy's looking for him all the time, and you got Trent Taylor on the field at the same time, which is Jimmy's favorite target when they're working together, and now Deebo's become Jimmy's favorite target as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he splits those up. And if Jalen Hurd's out there with that big body, oh, God. I did forget Kittle immediately as soon as I started that sentence. No, I didn't. Kittle's going to be the guy this year again. But, George may become more of a move tight end. They may make Warner and some of these other guys, these 2 tight end sets, they're going to bring those guys in like Warner that can knock a man completely out, something like George does. Because Warner's, I understand he's a fabulous blocker, right? And let George free up. The potential is ridiculous, Shanahan, of this offense if everything's right. Ayuk with that deep threat, Deebo cutting him up in the middle along with George. I got Jerick McKinnon could kill you from any position. But, did I mention Kendrick Bourne? I'm going to start calling him.
KB, too.
Yeah, start calling him. Let me give his Kobe's old name, the Dagger. Kendrick comes up with the miracle catches all of a sudden out of nowhere, and especially around the end zone. And Kendrick Bourne is wide open. A touchdown, San Francisco. God, I love when he does that. Shanahan, I'm sitting here doing. I'm taking your time up, Shanahan. Tell you what. Let's see you tomorrow night, and so I can do it again to you.
Shout out to the Night Empire. Thank you for the platform, Ronbo. Hit those likes and wash those hands.
Please. And thank you, Shanahan. Looking forward to tomorrow. Oh, God. I'm getting too pumped up. I got to calm down and let you talk, fam. I'm sorry. All right. We're checking back in on Naj. Breathe. Notch, I'm doing this because I know you listen to this later. And Notch, we came and got you early tonight, too. Alex!
On Ronbo.
Alex, man, we're having fun tonight looking at our 2019 draft class. And Alex, we had a good draft in 2017 and 2018 if Dante would just come on and play. And now, 2019 class, I guess we're getting... Ooh, Alex, what if every year the 49ers get better and better in the draft? Does that mean next year, provided they play college football, does that mean next year we top 2019's draft? Is that even possible? Whoa!
I you know,
draft. Yeah. I forgot.
I think with the draft class we had over the years, what we've learned is that the front office consistently finds certain players that are dogs. And when we finally got our opportunity, you know, in the playoffs and stuff, it really showed how tough of a team we were physically.
Yes.
There was a lot of tough moments throughout the season that were playoff moments, and there wasn't any flinching. You know what I mean? There was a lot of hard-nosed plays that, you know, a lot of times over the last 7 years, we haven't been able to say we can make this play. You know, a 3rd and 15 back-to-back times.
Ooh,
how many times in the last few years have we been like, yeah, we're going to get this? But all throughout last year, we started off like in those tense moments, holding our breath. And I'd say from the midpoint on, we really didn't have to feel that way. We were very comfortable. We were very confident. We understood that this team wasn't just one of those teams that just because they get knocked down doesn't mean they're knocked out. You know, that the stretch where we played New Orleans, Baltimore, Green Bay, we had some very tough injuries. That Baltimore game was kind of it was a heavyweight fight, and what we learned was that our young players like Dre Greenlaw, Emmanuel Mosley, and even Marcel Harris coming through. They wanted to be a part of them moments and really step up to the plate. And as far as Dante Pettis, man, he has talent.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Absolutely.
He kind of he feels like to me is a very, it's funny, it's obviously same team, Akella Witherspoon. If their confidence gets knocked down 1%, it's like almost like they saw a ghost, and all of a sudden everything's
Alex,
different.
Mentally fragile. I hate that.
But
man,
yeah, but I mean, this team, as smooth as the plays might look, as finesse as this scheme might look on offense, this is an offense for dogs. You know, that's why they're bringing in people like Travis Benjamin, somebody that knows, hey, I'm going to get hit. When I run this route, I'm going to get hit, but I'm going to take that hit, and I'm going to send it right back like a Deebo. As soon as I catch this ball, I'm a semi truck because I know the safety's coming to hit me, but I'm going to let him know I'm here too.
There you go. That's the attitude you got to have. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's our team. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why we got these running back receivers out there, and you know George Kittle's out there, Kyle Juszczyk's out there. We want people that are going to run through people, offensively, defensively, special teams. You know, and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch said that we want nasty people. You know what I mean? And we're year by year we're getting nastier, and you know, I can only hope Javon Kinlaw comes through and is a nasty dude, because if he can be 70% of what Buckner is, we're going to be just fine. Because DJ Jones is going to kill it.
Can you imagine that? You know,
I mean, we got to let the tape talk. We got to see it on game day.
You got to wait. But he's a mean dude. Tell you, plus he's huge. Huge.
He's a big dude, man. And you know what? Here's a low key thing to think of all year. Something that we can, as fans, hopefully it's a year of appreciation because I think Solomon Thomas, if he has a solid year, we might have a guy that we could sign for 4 or 5 years on a really, really good price. That is perfect for this franchise because we need depth for good prices.
I know.
And Solomon Thomas has no leverage. He has none, and that is okay.
Alex will be sitting at the negotiating table, and before Solomon these guys start saying anything, listen. Before you start, we waited. We've been patient. We put up a lot. Don't start with any ridiculous numbers, or this conversation's over.
Absolutely, because you know what? Let me say this: we passed up on some really good players for him.
In 2017,
we passed up on Pat Mahomes.
Oh God, tell me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If you can look at that draft class and just it makes you sick in a way, but in the same sense, yeah. God. I mean, everybody. You know, Deshaun Watson, Michael Thomas, all kinds of dudes. But Ronbo, Solomon Thomas, if Solomon Thomas, if we can get a 10-year career out of him. No matter what happens, he can at least be like an Alex Smith, where we can grow to appreciate him. He can have his moments, and we'll love him, love hard on him. Mm-hmm. But we need Solomon Thomas to be huge this year.
We do.
We need him to be big.
Don't come off the bench with nothing weak.
Yeah.
Come in there and come on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like I said, if Javon Kinlaw can be 70% of Buckner, that 30% needs to come through from Solomon Thomas, DJ Jones, Zettel,
Alex,
and the rest of the dudes.
It's too late. How much percentage did you give Solomon Thomas?
A chunk of the 30 left. Yeah, so I'm not putting too much pressure on him. You know what I mean? That's the thing. We've never put too much pressure on him.
But you know what? At this point, he's got veteran status. I want Solomon to be in that mindset. Now, every time Javon makes a big play, and especially at the end of the day, if I look at Javon having the biggest impact of the day, and you sort of like played a support role, I'm having a talk with Solomon at the end of the game from the coach. Long talk. I'm taking him to dinner so we can really talk.
You know what? But keep this in mind. Last year, just really think back on the playoff run. Solomon Thomas was in that backfield, making somebody jump out of position.
He's fast,
and somebody else got a sack, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But
I want to see.
You're not getting paid $9 million a year. You're going to get paid $5 million a year to be a guy that can create plays for other people. If you're going to be assistant all day long, you're not getting paid A1 money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See.
So.
We're gonna find out because I got high hopes for him. And if Solomon Thomas and Dante Pettis finally show their real worth this year, we're all going to be very excited about that. And we'll make the coaches got to make the cuts they got to make. But still, those are the guys the spotlight is on. Stop fooling around.
And
let's go.
With the loss of DeForest and Sanders, we can only forget about those losses if they make us forget about them. Collectively, we're not putting it on one person's shoulders. Yeah. Collectively, as a unit, if we can just keep this thing going,
like the well-oiled machine, because of the fact that
it'll make John Lynch and Kyle look like geniuses. That we can keep getting rid of players and just keep going, baby.
There you go, Alex. Great stuff as usual, fam. I'll be looking for you tomorrow. All right.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you, man.
Looking forward. Night. Lots of. Oops. Are we still? Are we gonna? Hey, let's check on Naj. Oh, Ellis. I like checking on Naj. Naj, when you do, I'm gonna get you when you get back in here. What? Naj. Naj. Wait, is that Naj?
Ronbo.
Naj, is that you?
Yeah, what up?
Naj, what time do you wake up every morning?
I work third shift, so I wake up it depends what time I go to sleep at night.
Naj, you remind me.
I usually go to bed around 9, 10, when I'm off, 9 and 10.
Naj, did you tell me you're working more than one job?
No,
Your shift. Your shift, whatever time you work is kind of
shifts.
your tough hours, huh? Because Notch, you remind me of the parties I used to attend back at school. And everybody keep on passing the J. And I used to always say, because like, you sound like them dudes at the party. I used to always say, y'all, we sit up here and take this stuff in. Man, all I want to do is kick back and relax, man. I can't even party. You remind me of them days. But I finally stopped doing that for that reason. But Notch, we're talking tonight about our sophomores coming up this year. And Notch, who you like, man? Who's going to have the biggest splash between Mrs. Bosa's baby boy, Mrs. Samuel, her baby boy, Deebo, Dre Greenlaw, what? And will Jalen Hurd please stand up? Which one of them dudes? Who you got in mind?
I say Deebo, because I remember Kyle Shanahan said last year he said he still had a lot to learn in the wide receiver position.
Wow, can you
So
imagine?
if you was doing that without,
I tell you, that means he's got all kinds of room to improve, right? My God.
Mm-hmm.
He did say he had some problems with the playbook early in the season. And he mentioned that. He said, I didn't really fully comprehend the playbook till about week 4, 5, or 6. He started getting it, because it's a tough system to get into and function, right? So if he starts playing faster, that's what Kyle's talking about.
Yeah, stronger, getting that grown man weight. Just gonna be.
Can you imagine Deebo getting stronger? That boy hits people now like a truck. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Just imagine what secondary gonna want to tackle any of our players.
See, that's the thing. You get past that first level into the secondary, and coming downfield, got them knees coming up high. And dudes, man, you gotta time that hit, man, or he's gonna embarrass you. Bam! Oh,
that's what all our receivers now.
That's right.
Pettis, but
because Ayuk is tough too, from what I understand. Well, there's Dante. Maybe not. There must be something we can do. I wonder if he's working out and getting any bigger. Pettis doesn't get it.
I saw his calves look like they was getting a little bigger.
Really? I didn't see no photos of him. I saw that a little bit in a distance
Pettis?
when he's out on Santa Clara. At San Jose State. But I couldn't see him very well.
Yeah, I was looking at him.
Yeah, well, he's got to put some upper body strength on as well. He's got to. I want to see some expansion on those arms, and because Notch, you know how it is. If you work out, you start to feel a little more confident. You get a little more cocky because you feel like you might be bad, But you can't come out there weighing 190 and 6'2" and expect not to get hurt. You are going to get hurt.
Yeah, especially not when the people around you way bigger.
Lineman, cornerback coming in there. He's only 5'11", 205. Now, what's he go? And already he's got the advantage of being he got the leverage advantage. So we hit Dante and fold him up like a chair. And Dante be laying down on the ground. And we're going to have they call it timeout. Dante's not getting up.
Waste another timeout.
Dante, man, come on. Get your ass up, man. We told you in the offseason you need to beef up a little bit, man. Now you still can't take a hit. I think, you know what? He remember he had a torn chest muscle or something beginning of the season? Dante may have been...
Yeah, I thought it was a groin.
Then they said it was a chest injury, upper body.
Oh,
Probably on the fly machine and probably doesn't know how to use it or something. The fly machine, you go back too far, you got to flex it in. If you don't control that thing back, you can rip a pec. I bet he did. Knowing Dante.
I think it was a pec. Yeah, it was a pec injury.
God, Dante. Get a trainer, Dante, and have a couple of steaks a week. Man.
Yeah, because when he was right with us, but it was just like
Dante
out of nowhere.
Play. He can play, no doubt about it. Boy's got moves. If he wants to burn a cornerback, the cornerback is going to get burnt. And he did that consistently too. So Dante said he's going to make us stop talking about him, Notch. This is a Dante year.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
And
I'm rooting for him.
I am too. I have been for 2 years. I picked him on my mock draft 2018. I said, Dante, boy, I got to have Dante.
Oh, you did? Oh, man.
Yeah, I had Dante all sized up. I said, this dude's gonna be a star. He did good in that year too. Remember?
Yeah.
And
yeah, he did very good. Everybody thought he was gonna be like the next year. We thought it was his outbreak year. Then he just spit on us.
Mm-hmm. Deebo came and took his job, and Emmanuel Sanders, of course. I don't mind Emmanuel Sanders make him sound, but don't make everybody make you sit down, Dante. Come on, man. Kendrick Bourne came in there and breathed past you. Good God.
I forgot about KB. He gonna be.
KB's getting ready. See. And,
he's been getting ready.
It would have been careful. If Richie James would have surpassed Dante in snaps, that means Kyle's really pissed off then.
If Richie James get the ball more than you do, for you to get cut.
Oh, Dante. He's 49's favorite whipping boy now. Solomon T was it before, but we left Solomon and also Jimmy Ward, Eric Armstead, all the whipping boys.
It was Armstead for a minute.
Oh, for a long minute.
It was Eric Armstead for a minute.
J-Dub.
Nobody like Armstead.
Man, I like Armstead, man. I always did, though, Nudge. I always thought I said,
what was that cornerback we had? The corner?
Which one? We still have?
I think the first year well, we still be picking him up every year, but he don't never make the team no more. Dante.
Johnson.
Johnson or something like that. Yeah. That man. We came a long way from him.
Hey, Lodge, Dante's still on standby. They keep him on speed dial. Hey, because you notice, every time we need a quarterback, Dante is always at home available. I love to be able to get in situations. Oh, Dante's playing with somebody else right now. We can't even get him. What? No, he ain't. Well, call him anyway. He'll quit.
Cut straight to it. We came a long way.
God, yes. Dante was starting for us, remember? Him and Rashard Robinson?
Yeah, doing terrible. Rashard Robinson, I remember him too. Oh. We thought he was next up too.
Well, he was going to be okay. Something just, all of a sudden, everybody smoked him. Alex Smith in Kansas City Chiefs game.
He had too many holding calls.
Oh, God. Well, anyway.
He always did pass interference.
I know. And then start getting in the ref's face, which only makes it worse because then the ref start bird dogging you. Mm-hmm. And now, Notch, I'm glad we woke you up, man. It's always fun talking to you.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you.
All right, Notch. Try again tomorrow night, all right?
All right.
All right, fam.
All right.
All right, Notch. Yeah, the hard-working Notch getting in here. That's why I was determined to get him because I had some feeling with something like this. Ellis! Uh-oh. But Ellis is
probably what's going on?
Oh, yeah, okay, it's Ellis. Ellis going to be sleeping. Ellis is that dude that says things like, man, sleeping is overrated. I got things I got to do. Ellis!
Yeah, man. We all have our moments, but, rest is very important. So I'm not anti-sleep. So
I know you know.
Not get it twisted.
This is because some folks
What's going on, fam?
Talk that crazy stuff. A lot of times it's that situation where a dude's working hard. When somebody come and got to take his shoes off, when he fell off in the bed, didn't even know he was asleep. Hey.
Right.
Ellis, I'm talking about sophomores, man. We got some talented sophomores that were talented freshmen. A lot of the reason we went to the Super Bowl last year was due to Nick, Deebo, Dre Greenlaw. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm thinking these guys did awfully. They set that bar awfully high. And next year, a lot is expected from them. But can they move past their own standard that they've already set? I mean, Deebo's looked at as maybe could be the NFL's premier breakout sophomore. But what are you thinking?
I mean, the ceiling is definitely there. He hasn't reached his ceiling completely. Not a lot of those guys haven't even had a chance to fully be able to, showcase their talent, throughout a full season, you know what I mean, at that, or,
Jalen
to
Hurd.
get excess amount of, right. And, like you guys were just talking about, I mean, I'm just saying Richie James and other players who haven't really had a chance to get the ball or get the snaps or, the reps necessary to play to be able to showcase their talents and show their importance to the team. You know what I'm saying? Overall, that's how guys get slept on a lot of the time. So, those opportunities, if you don't get them, then you don't get a chance to see. But I mean, we still got that guy, what's his name, Poindexter on the, wide receivers. That was real good. And
until
some
people
other
mention
guys.
his name,
And I mean,
I will have already forgotten. We got so many wide receivers, it's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. It makes it to where we're so overly saturated, we start forgetting about guys that are ready to just, let guys go, for X amount of players that we already have that we feel the most confident in, but we need some of those other guys too. You know what I mean? So hopefully at the end of the
they may not even get a chance. There's an unfairness about this season. Some of these guys might not even get a chance to showcase themselves due to the fact the situation as it is right now, with the virus restricting play and people getting together. I worry about losing the wrong talent too.
Yeah. It's. I was talking about the other day. I think I brought it up maybe, but I had been thinking about it like mentally, the players and the adjustment is gonna. It's going to be in playing with like minimal crowd. I don't know how they plan on setting it up. I guess we'll see once we see the first home game, the first televised game. We'll know how they're doing it around in the NFL when the games. But the players want to be motivated too. They get a lot of inspiration, from the crowd. So it's like it's going to be an adjustment for a lot of them to be able to play, for a common goal as they would in a game where you had all of the, fans.
I know.
Versus not having that many fans. It's going to be an adjustment mentally for a lot of them. So they got to get acclimated to that and try to mentally, psychologically just prepare themselves for that in the midst of the other training that they're doing. So hopefully they got within the organization or, having those kind of talks with the players and stuff like that, just to educate them because that may not be something that they're used to. This is all new for everybody. I'm just saying they should consider it because you never know who it'll affect, and then it'll be a discussion later on down the line. I'm just saying. So.
I still don't understand. You can scatter fans throughout. I guess they're concerned about people walking around, going to the bathroom and going to the concession stand and things like that. Because if the stadium's big enough to cut it maybe a third of the capacity of crowd. You don't have to have 60,000 in there, but you can have 30. I mean, I don't. God.
Right. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, man. This going to be strange. It's going to be something to see for the the least bit. That'll be talked about during, with the commentary. They'll be going back and forth about the new adjustments and the look and stuff from the stands and everything.
I mean, if
we'll
you go
see
to
how it affects with the players.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom, you got to wear a mask. You go to the concession, you need to wear a mask. When you're sitting in the stands, you can take the mask off. You got monitors. You got to have monitors out there. You less than capacity crowd, and everybody can't go to the bathroom at the same time. But then again, you have somebody with his child. There's ways to do this. You don't have to just completely omit the fans. They got to work on that.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. But what else we got? What else we got on the plan for tonight, or what are we talking about tonight?
No, we were just talking pretty much the expectations and who's going to be the breakout player as far as a sophomore. Because, that term sophomore slump, of which a lot of players do fall into. Dante was a victim of it. What do you – Deebo, him and Nick, I mean, they set a really high level to get past. And I'm just thinking, man, how do you get better than Nick was last year? And Deebo – if Kyle would have gave him the ball more often during the Super Bowl, we'd be talking him. Deebo might have been an MVP. So, it's.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and just think of another 100 yards, maybe a little over 100 yards, and he would probably have to be in the conversation. You know what I mean? Or another 200 yards, let's just say, because then he would have been over 1,000. Well over. They would have had him, and he would have been in the talks even more. So that could have just been accumulated in a matter of 2-3 games. Just getting some better looks and whatnot. But I think Deebo's going to have an even greater sophomore season. He's not going to have a slump. I don't think Nick's going to have a slump. I just don't think that's possible with these guys. They fell into a really blessed position to come and be able to play with us, and we're just as blessed to have them on the team. And I just think this is a time where these guys are just going to, elevate. Really, I don't think there's going to be Yeah, no decrease, all increase.
Expect stepping
So
up,
we'll
in
be
fact.
good.
Ellis, I'm going to see you tomorrow night on Raw, fam. All right.
Yes, indeed, champ. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Ellis. You
Y'all
know that,
download.
too.
Yeah, hey, man, y'all make sure you hit that subscribe, and, hit the like, follow Ronbo, download that app, man, and Ronbo, shout out to you always, family.
Thanks, man. Night, Ellis.
All right.
And then, as I'm coming up with ways for fans to come in, San Francisco hits me with the reality. Less crowds equal higher tickets. And if there's any time when that would be extremely difficult, it's now. Because a lot of people are out of work. And to charge more for a ticket, unless you're a season, I don't even know if they're going to sell season tickets. They're probably not. So my idea's already been shot down. Thank you. San Francisco, man, why you want to hurt a man like that, man? Don't be using common sense up in here. This is what we're doing. This is fantasy time. God. Man. Well, Greg Popovich's going to have, well, you know what? Him and Tim do they got to be really noisy. Man. Because I do know, though, when you're playing football, if you're any athletic endeavor, you don't really hear the fans when you're playing. In fact, you don't see faces. You hear sound, but it's really funny how your mind sort of blanks out if you're intense. So I don't think it's going to stop the guys from playing. You feed off energy, true enough, but still, you've played ball. When you get down and play the boys at the rec center, when you're playing basketball or anything else, you're still crazy. You still play your butt off, right? So it's not that kind of effect that I'm concerned with. I'm talking about for the viewers, for our sake, as we're watching the game, there's something exciting about hearing that noise. They're still talking about, piping it in, although that's weird. And it puts you at a disadvantage in other clubs, too, because it'll be quiet as heck when your team's on the field trying to launch an offense. And, of course, when you're in the other position, they're gonna turn it up crazy loud. I guess all things being equal, I guess that's okay. We'll see. Fam, I'm going to tell you what, please, like Ellis says, hit that like. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Night.